Hello and welcome to the tutorial video for Techno-Weenies triple screen. Hi, Courtney Gooden here again, and this from my video layer, lovely place, and we're going to be demonstrating and showing you some tips and tricks for the triple screen program, which is part of the Techno-Weenies video playback toolkit, which is this kind of Swiss Army knife for the video playback engineer. So everything's running on this small stick PC, which contains the toolkit. And of course, once again, we're using the Bluetooth keyboard to control everything. So as with the other tutorials, that's what we're doing. So without further ado, let's jump in and launch the triple screen. Now if you watch the MV9 demo, triple screen is kind of similar. Double click on that icon to launch it. But instead of having multiple videos within a single window, this program has multiple windows with a video in each. So let's say we want to load up a different video in each one of these windows. Just click on whichever window you want to load, 1, 2, or 3, and one, let's say, I don't know, let's just load these 3 videos in here. 1, 2, and 3. That'll work okay, I guess. Let me see if I can Alt-M to mute them all. Since they're all playing audio at the same time, you can control the audio individually for each one, like you can in MV9 with the volume control over here. Just select which video, 1, 2, or 3, you're going to control the audio in. Now, unlike the MV9, each one of these windows that has video can be sized and scaled independently. So, if I let me pause here just so you can see this a little easier. You can scale one full screen and use the other one to do picture-in-picture or a variety of layouts, which we'll get into in a second. One of the primary purposes of this triple screen was to allow you to play back 3 videos in sync with each other, control them all from a single key on the keyboard to start, stop, play, and re-cue them on separate screens. Well, how would you do separate screens? Let's take a look at how you do that. This, if you didn't see the overview video, there's this device, which is a additional video, kind of an external video card that works over USB. So you take the USB plug and you plug it into your stick PC, and that would give you an additional, where are they? An additional 2 video outputs. One's a DVI connection and one's an HDMI connection. So in addition to your regular HDMI, you have a DVI with an adapter that can also be HDMI or VGA, and another HDMI connector there. So that gives you 3 screens you can deal with, which is normally the maximum amount that Windows will support at one time. So 3 separate screens. So now from my little remote, which also is in this movable window here, and the R key brings it up and down like the other programs. You can position your windows, or you can go full screen. If you want to split, if you click on split 3, what that does, if you've got 3 additional screens hooked up, which I can't really in this demo since we only can record one of them, it sizes the windows almost to full screen and positions them to the left and the right of this current video, the current video screen you're seeing where the remote is. So it would spread your 3 different videos out onto 3 different screens, and then you could hit Alt-F to make them all go full screen on their respective screens. Now you could control them simply by hitting the space bar to stop, start, Q to go cue them up, or B to go to black on all of them, or L to go to logo. Now the logo screens are loaded in a little bit differently on these. To load the logo screens, you go into the logo mode. In other words, you press L if I didn't have any logos loaded, they would be black at this point. And let's go to a layout. There's different layouts. I want to go through layouts first, then we'll go through the logo screens. So the layouts you have across the bottom here, kind of like they were in MV9, but you have 2x2. Let me hit the play button so you get the videos up. So you get 2x2. Split 3 is, you know, almost full screen on each individual on the 3 different screens. 3 vertically puts you know, aligns them up, stack 3 in the whatever screen height you have. 3 horizontally, puts them side by side horizontally across there. There's a layout called 2-box, which is kind of like used for newsrooms, and that takes video 1 and makes it full screen, and then puts video 2 and 3 in small vertical boxes on either side. So now you can use the control key to center. Let me cue things up here. So you can use hold down the control key, and you can slide the video within each box to center it if it's not centered already. It tries to center the video in whatever box you have in this mode, but you can still adjust it using the mouse and the control key. So now if I hit C to queue up, you have these 2 boxes. Like the others, you can turn Alt-T turns the little titles on and off, which you see in the upper left-hand corner there. You can adjust the title size. On this program, title size is the little scroll box above where it says title size. And you can make it any size you want, up to that big, to that big. You can move them wherever you want. As the other ones, you double click on them and type new text. And when you hit enter, it'll size the box up to contain whatever new text you typed. And I think you also have the ability to move all of them in the boxes by holding on the shift key. So when you let go of the cursor, it'll move each one of them to that same respective location on all 3 windows. So that's a 2-box. There's also a 3-box, which puts up your 3 boxes. Bring these titles back down here. To be side by side. So 3 vertical boxes side by side, and it centers the video in each one of those vertical boxes, but you can adjust it by dragging left and right if you need to adjust for your video. So those are your basic layouts. There's one other layout that comes in real handy. Since all these 3 of these videos are running simultaneously, so you hit C key, it puts them back to the in queue. And same as the other programs, your in queue and your out queue are on this timeline here, and you just select. With this one, you can just select by clicking on the video window and select 1, 2, or 3, and it'll show you where each video is in its timeline, and you can jump around. I'm in 3 now, so I can move around in 3. I can set new in queues and out queues. I can set new bookmarks, same as the other programs. So if you want to see how to set bookmarks, go watch the TWTriple media player for using the shift key and function 1 through function 10, F1 through F10 to set a bookmark, and then just hit that bookmark to go to each individual one. So shift F1 for whatever screen you have selected will set that bookmark for that particular screen. So now when I hit F1, it'll jump back to that particular position. And you can set a unique in queue and out queue for each individual video as well. You can set the volume for each individual video by adjusting this here with that, depending on whichever window is selected up here. This has a gang lock. It's normally turned on. What you can do then is, if you wanted to play one video without the rest, is turn the gang lock off. And now when you pause and play, you're only affecting the video that you have selected. So I can pause that one. And I can pause that one. So with gang off, you can just select one of the videos and then pause, play, set in cues and out cues, set bookmarks, things like that. Then as soon as you turn the gang's all here, turn that on, then your start, stop, and re-cue buttons will control all 3 videos simultaneously. And since all 3 are playing in sync, there's another layout that you can use, which is just go alt full screen with a single screen. So what that does is it makes all the videos full screen, and so each one fills the screen, and when you hit play, they're all playing. So if I hide my menu here, you'll see that this is playing, and this is I think it's number 1. We retitled it news text. But now if you hold down the shift key, you can cut between the 3 different videos, and it will automatically bring up the sound for each individual video as you switch to it full screen. So you can use this to freeze, queue up all 3 videos at the top, and hit the space bar, starts playing them all in sync with each other, and then you can just cut between them by holding on the shift key and pressing a button whenever you want to switch between the different videos, the 3 different videos. Also, if you hit black, it'll go to black on whichever screen is up, and the space bar goes back to playing. When you hit L for logo, it brings up the still file for each individual window. Each individual has a single still file that you can load in using the L key. And I can also use the shift 1, 2, 3 to shift between the logo files. Now to load the logos in this, it's a little bit different. I think you hit the L to go to the logo, which would be black if you didn't have a still file loaded in there, and it'll only load JPEGs and bitmap files. And so you'll notice if I hit the spacebar to play, it's showing you video files in this list box. If I hit L, it puts up the logo and it switches the filter to just JPEG and bitmap files, so that then I could load another bitmap in to the logo file just by double clicking here. And we don't want to do that one because it scales. It's not the right aspect ratio. You probably want to create your still files with the same aspect ratio that you're going to be using for your screen, because it will stretch them to fit, and it won't necessarily stretch them proportionally. So it'll just fit the width and the height. So if you've got something round, like I showed you that logo there, that wasn't the same aspect ratio as the screen, like, well, that one happens to be because it's in a window, but like that one, which is a square image, it's just going to stretch it out to horizontally fill the screen. On the still files, video files, it scales proportionally. So that is the basis of triple screen. Once you change your layout, or you change your whatever videos you have, and you set markers in here, unique markers, click the Save button, and just like Multiview 9, this will create an INF file that you'll find in your videos, amongst your videos here, and it'll be labeled triscreen.inf. So if we had let's set some bookmarks in here on one of these files on F3. So we hit Shift F2, and we're going to go down here and set another one, Shift F3, set some bookmarks, another one down here, Shift F4, and we're going to set a new out cue, Shift O, and we're going to set a new in cue, Shift I, for that particular video. So this video, number 3 here, has a new in cue, which is there. It's got a new out cue, and it's got some new function, some new bookmark files, new bookmark spots that you can jump to. F4. So I click on Save. Now if I quit, bring my launcher back up here, and relaunch triple screen, it should bring me back into that layout with those particular videos, but it doesn't necessarily bring back the I'll hit clear all videos, and Let me see if I change my layout, what happens. Let's go to 2x2 here. Now we're going to load up that INF file. Double click on that INF file that it saves out when you click save. It doesn't redo your layout, but it does restore your markers. So that F3 here, you see the custom in queue, the custom out queue, and the custom bookmarks are reloaded back in here. So any changes you want to make to the in queue, out queue, or the bookmarks, remember to hit save, and then next time you want to load them up, just hit the triplescreen.inf file, double click on that, and it will load these video files and the bookmarks for each one of them that you customly set. Alt M, it's all. Also, like multi-view, you can select a file to put a green screen in. If you want to lay a live video image in there, just pop a green screen in there, or select it over here, over the Trumpster. And like multi-view 9, you can use the control key to change the control key, shift key to change the color of the green screen. So you just click over here with the mouse and any different color for the green screen. You know, if I want to make it red, you make it red, but typically you want to use blue or green. And that way you can key in a live video image if you go through a live switcher. So that's pretty much triple screen. Like I say, this one is similar to multi-view 9, but is designed for 3 separate video monitors or 3 screens on one particular video monitor, and the ability to switch between them, which is handy to have. You know, for pretending to be in a television station, you can have 3 different camera shots of the same actor, and with them all synced up with a common sync mark in between them, you can then just hold down the shift key and cut back and forth between the different camera angles, like you were switching. And this is all done, of course, without a switcher and without any extra hardware other than the little stick PC that I showed you a minute ago. So the layouts: Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, Alt Z for horizontal, Alt V for vertical. Wait, is that right? Yeah. I don't know, Alt X, I hit the X. Alt V for vertical, Alt X for 3 bucks. You just look at whatever letter is underlined down here in the layouts, and that is the hotkey. With the Alt, holding in the Alt key, that will bring up each individual layout as hotkeys from the keyboard. And the rest of the controls are, you know, similar to everything else, all the other units, the media player, MV9. If you've loaded any one of these videos into the media player by itself and set custom bookmarks in there, custom in points and out points, they will load in to a triple screen as well and pop up here on the timeline when you load them in, as long as that marker file comes along with the video file of the same name. This one also supports network remote. All of these video players do. The media player, MV9, the triple screen, and the list player, which is going to be in another tutorial, all can be controlled from this last one over here, the network's net remote, and we'll demo that separately, but you'd control them then from another computer with this remote, over which you can control next queue, previous queue, reset them back to the start, play or pause, or go to black, or go to the logo. You can adjust, you can do all those controls remotely over a network. So if you can't get close enough to use your little Bluetooth keyboard, you can run this program on a separate laptop and then use it to start and stop multiple machines in sync with each other, as long as they see the Wi-Fi router. So that concludes our demonstration of triple screen. Next up is going to be the list player, so be sure and come back for that. Thanks again for watching.